What Stoicism is, and why it still matters today. Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering that nothing outside of you could destroy your peace. Not the criticism of strangers, not the betrayal of friends, not the loss of money, not even failure. Would that make you powerful? More than 2,000 years ago, a group of philosophers believed it would. They called their philosophy Stoicism. Today, Stoicism is often misunderstood. People think it means suppressing emotions, becoming cold, or pretending nothing hurts. But that isn't Stoicism. In fact, some of history's most powerful leaders, warriors, and thinkers relied on Stoic principles to survive chaos, grief, and uncertainty. The Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius practiced it while leading an empire through war and plague. Seneca used it while navigating political conspiracies and personal tragedy. Epictetus taught it after enduring slavery and hardship. Their message was simple. You cannot control what happens to you, but you can control who you become because of it. And that idea may be more relevant today than ever before. Section 1. The birth of Stoicism. Stoicism began around 300 BC in the city of Athens. A merchant named Zeno of Citium lost everything in a shipwreck. His fortune disappeared beneath the sea. Most people would have seen this as the end. Zeno saw it differently. After arriving in Athens, he began studying philosophy. Years later, he started teaching beneath a painted porch known as the Stoa Poikile. The followers of his teachings became known as Stoics. Ironically, one of the world's greatest philosophies was born from disaster. That should tell us something. The Stoics never promised a life free from suffering. They promised something better: the ability to remain strong despite suffering. They understood a truth that many people spend their entire lives avoiding. Pain is inevitable. Chaos is inevitable. Loss is inevitable. The question is not whether adversity will come. The question is whether you will be prepared when it arrives. Section 2. The core idea of Stoicism. If Stoicism could be reduced to a single principle, it would be this: some things are within your control. Some things are not. This distinction sounds simple, but it changes everything. Most people spend their lives trying to control things they never could. They try to control how others feel, how others behave, how others judge them, how the future unfolds, how quickly success arrives, how life rewards them. And when reality refuses to cooperate, they suffer. Not because reality is cruel, but because they are fighting a battle they can never win. Epictetus explained it clearly. Your opinions are yours. Your actions are yours. Your choices are yours. Everything else is not. Think about how much anxiety comes from trying to control the uncontrollable. A text message that hasn't been answered. A job interview result. Someone's opinion. A relationship outcome. The weather. The economy. The past. The Stoics would ask, why surrender your peace to something you cannot command? Instead, focus your energy where it matters. Your character, your actions, your response. Because while you cannot always choose what happens, you can choose how you meet it. And that is where freedom begins. Section 3. Stoicism is not emotional suppression. One of the biggest myths about Stoicism is that Stoics don't feel emotions. This is completely false. Marcus Aurelius felt grief. Seneca felt fear. Epictetus felt frustration. They were human. The difference was not that they lacked emotions. The difference was that they refused to become slaves to them. Imagine anger as a storm. Most people either explode with it or are consumed by it. The Stoic observes it. He recognizes it. He understands it. Then he decides whether it deserves control over his actions. Stoicism teaches emotional mastery, not emotional numbness. It doesn't say, never feel anger. It says, don't let anger make your decisions. It doesn't say, never feel sadness. It says, don't let sadness define your life. This distinction is crucial. The Stoic does not eliminate emotion. The Stoic places reason in the driver's seat. Because emotions are valuable messengers, but terrible masters. Section 4. The 4 Stoic Virtues. At the heart of Stoicism are 4 virtues. These virtues form the foundation of a good life. Wisdom. Wisdom means seeing reality clearly, not as you wish it were, not as fear imagines it, but as it actually is. Most suffering begins when we refuse reality. The wise person accepts facts before forming judgments. Courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is acting correctly despite fear. Every meaningful life requires courage. The courage to speak truth. The courage to walk away from what harms you. The courage to face uncertainty. The courage to endure hardship. Without courage, wisdom remains useless. Justice. Justice means treating others fairly and honorably. The Stoics believed humans were connected. Every action affects the wider community. A person who lies, manipulates, or exploits others may gain short-term advantages, but they lose something more valuable: their character. Temperance. Temperance is self-control. The ability to resist excess. The ability to remain balanced. Most modern problems are fueled by excess. Too much consumption. Too much distraction. Too much impulsiveness. The Stoics believed true strength came from discipline, not indulgence. Together, these 4 virtues create an unshakable foundation for life. Section 5. Why Stoicism is more relevant than ever. The modern world profits from your distraction. Every day, thousands of voices compete for your attention. News headlines demand outrage. Social media demands comparison. Advertising demands dissatisfaction. Everyone wants control over your mind. Stoicism offers resistance. It teaches you to pause before reacting, to question your assumptions, to focus on what matters, to stop seeking validation from people who barely know your name. The Stoics would look at modern anxiety and ask a simple question: how much of your suffering comes from reality? And how much comes from your interpretation of reality? Many people are exhausted not because life is unbearable, but because their minds never stop fighting things they cannot change. Stoicism provides an alternative. Not escape, not denial, but clarity. A return to what actually matters. Character, discipline, purpose, inner peace. So, what is Stoicism? It is not emotional suppression. It is not passivity. It is not pretending pain doesn't exist. Stoicism is the art of focusing on what you can control while accepting what you cannot. It is choosing character over comfort, discipline over impulse, wisdom over reaction. It teaches that true power does not come from controlling the world. It comes from controlling yourself. Because the strongest person is not the one who conquers others. The strongest person is the one who conquers their own mind. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." And perhaps that is why, after more than 2000 years, Stoicism continues to endure. Empires have fallen. Kings have disappeared. Civilizations have changed. Yet, the human struggle remains the same. And so does the Stoic answer. Not mastery of the world, but mastery of yourself. If this philosophy resonates with you, subscribe to the channel and join us for more lessons from Stoicism, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. Because in a chaotic world, your greatest advantage may be the one thing nobody can take from you: your mind.